1, 2, 3. More than 20 abandoned ships floating in space. Each one with a name. Each one built by a real player who paid $15 and never came back. Today, I explored the deadest MMOs on Steam. Entire worlds without a single living player. And what I found in these abandoned universes ranged from planet-sized ghost cities to things I probably shouldn't have seen. This is Starbase, the first of 3. Starbase is a space MMO that costs $15. It promises a full universe to explore. Ship construction, mining, space combat. But there's one small problem. It's completely abandoned. And I'm about to find out why. The tutorial taught me the basics. Dismantling ships with a saw, a laser, and a screwdriver. Sometimes the parts glitched out and clipped through the geometry like it was nothing. But I'm not a programmer, so I won't comment on that. The game itself looked pretty nice. An enormous map where apparently you can explore as far as you want. Then they taught me how to mine asteroids inside the station, how to repair ships, and finally they gave me my own ship. No warning, no explanation. They basically just said, here's the universe. Good luck, man. Flying the ship at first was a disaster. The controls were complicated and not intuitive at all. But eventually I got used to them. I had an entire universe in front of me. A planet right next to me that I could probably visit. But my goal was somewhere else. The asteroid belt, 22,000 kilometers away. It didn't sound that far until I started flying. The trip was long and silent. Just the sound of my ship cutting through the void. But as I got closer to the belt, I started noticing something strange. Ships. Ships everywhere. These weren't NPC ships. They were ships from real players, with names, with personalized designs, completely abandoned. 1, 2, 3, easily more than 20 ships drifting in space. A space graveyard of players who aren't here anymore. I went deeper into the belt. The gas fog covered everything. More ships, more names, more silence. Then the fog got so dense that I couldn't see anything at all. Only darkness, only the unknown. I had no idea what I might find out there. I wasn't scared of dying in-game. I was scared of finding something. Or worse, someone. In the distance, I saw something that shouldn't be there. A structure. Something that looked like a portal. Or maybe a black hole. I wasn't sure, but I knew I wasn't leaving the game until I figured it out. First, I needed to finish my mission. I found asteroids, mined them. The process was slow and tedious, but it worked. So I headed back to the space station, another long trip. When I arrived, something was different. People were chatting, or at least messages were appearing in the chat. This game is amazing. I love this game. I'm going to help the developers make this game successful. I asked if anyone was there. Nothing. Complete silence. Just messages with no context, no conversation. Like they were scripted. Like they were bots. I kept exploring the station. Empty hallways, abandoned rooms, and then I saw that black hole again. But now, it was next to a massive structure. I could tell it was far away. Still, I decided to go, no matter how long it would take. It took me 15 minutes of flying in a straight line with nothing to see and nothing to do. The structure was huge. Under it, there was some kind of green plasma swirling and pulsing. It changed as I approached, almost like it was alive. I got closer and decided to enter. Boom. Something launched me. No warning, no control. I was flying at ridiculous speeds toward I don't know where. All I could see was myself getting farther from the planet. The gas ring that once looked infinite now looked tiny and distant. I stayed like that for 10 minutes, unable to do anything. Then I saw where I was going. Another planet with a green ring around it. I was heading straight toward it, too fast. If I didn't stop, I'd crash. Another black hole stopped me right before impact. I ended up floating a few meters away. On this new planet, there was a city, Moon City, according to the map. When I approached, the game warned me, you are leaving the safe zone. I ignored it and went anyway. It was enormous. Huge, futuristic buildings in the middle of a desert planet, a sci-fi metropolis. But my instincts were telling me it was completely empty. I left my ship and walked. I entered one of the largest buildings and it was hollow. Nothing inside, just elevators that didn't work. So I used my jetpack to go up. Floor after floor, empty rooms, endless hallways. At the top, I looked out the window and saw the entire city. Streets, buildings, structures, everything abandoned. Maybe there was another player out there searching like me, but I doubted it. Starbase had potential, a huge universe, complex mechanics, total freedom. But the travel times were insane. The tutorial barely existed, and worst of all, there was no one to share it with. The game has been dead for years. The developers left. The players left. What remains are ghost cities, graveyards of ships, and bots pretending everything is fine. But that was just the first MMO. I still had 2 more to explore, and it only got worse. Dead Maze, a 2D zombie MMO with a maximum of 50 players online. And yes, technically it's an MMO. Technically. But what I found here was much stranger than just an empty game. The story begins with a tsunami that killed millions while I was traveling with my football fan friends, because apparently that detail matters. But the tsunami wasn't the worst part. The worst was just starting. I wake up on a highway with my teammates, Cassie Sanders and Josh Nolan, 2 slightly annoying characters. Our tire is flat and the car has blood on it for no reason. So I look for help. There's no one. So we wait until nightfall. Josh hears something. A man runs toward us covered in blood, screaming, "Run! They're coming!" But we don't know who they are, so we just stand there like idiots. A shadowy figure approaches and bites Cassie in the neck, killing her. Surprise! It's a zombie game. Who would have guessed? Josh runs to the other side of the road. I grab a weapon and smash the zombie. Cassie's gone. Then we hear Josh screaming again. An entire horde is coming, so I get in the car and run like a coward. Finally, I end up on another road. More zombies. I smash them. The gameplay feels clunky, the controls weird, and honestly the game wasn't convincing me at all, but I kept going. I killed zombies, looted a house, repeated it again and again until I saw a campfire. I slept there, like a normal person in a zombie apocalypse. The next day, I grabbed a fishing rod, because apparently fishing is a priority during the end of the world. Suddenly, a bunch of zombies appear. I prepare to fight them, and then she appears. Chloe, my new crush for the rest of my experience in this MMO. She's a complete badass, destroying zombies like nothing. I wish she'd destroy me like that, but life isn't perfect. After the fight, we realized she was bitten. I just met her, I'm already in love, and she's dying. But conveniently, she says she's immune to the virus. I don't know how she knows that considering the apocalypse started like 2 hours ago, but okay. I take her to a town to find bandages. There I see my first players. I try talking to them, but no one's in the mood. They either walk around or don't move at all. I loot a house, kill zombies, find the bandages, and save my beloved. Fuck yes. They send me to the lobby, apparently the heart of the game where everyone gathers. There are many players, surprisingly, but no one moves. They're just standing still like mannequins. I grab a mission, kill 60 zombies. I kill zombies, a big zombie throws smaller zombies at me, I pick up a microwave and use it as a weapon. It's insanely strong. I complete the mission, get my reward, and instantly get another one. Find 5 food bags. Bro, do I look like a delivery driver? I start searching house after house. In one of them, I only find a beer. I drink it, because that counts as food, apparently. Then I see a player named Adnil. I run toward him and say, "Hey, hello, hola." Both languages, just in case. He replies,
Hola.
"What? You're the first one who answers me."
Ha ha ha, really?
Yes, no one's talking. They all feel like bots. I asked him how long he'd been playing. He told me 3 months on this account, but on the one he lost, about 7 years. I asked him, "Hey, is this game still alive?" He replied,
It's kinda half dead.
He asked which quest I was doing. I told him I was looking for 5 bags of food, and he said,
I'll go with you.
and that's how I made a new friend in this MMO. I didn't expect to meet anyone here, but there we were, farming while talking about life, getting to know each other like normal people. We finished the mission and moved to a new town. I asked, "Why are you helping me?"
Because it's boring to play alone.
Right? It looks like there are people, but no one actually talks.
I swear.
We were in the exact same situation and vibe, and we got along well. I asked him the craziest thing that had happened to him in this game. He told me he once got a girl's number here, and she became his fling. Nothing happened?
She lives 6 hours away, different state.
So you never saw her?
We agreed to leave it that way.
How long ago did you meet her?
3 months.
From this game?
Yeah.
I hope one day he meets her, marries her, and I get to be the best man, so I can tell their kids they met in a dead MMO, and then he met a YouTuber. At this point, the gameplay didn't matter. Talking to him was way more interesting than the game. Strangely, I wasn't even enjoying the game itself. I was only playing to talk to him. We went back to the lobby for more missions. He said he needed whiskey, so we split up to search in different areas. I killed zombies, upgraded my gear, and eventually found a whiskey bottle. I told him, and he came over. Hey.
Pass me the whiskey.
He finished the mission, and then we went to his house. Yes, you can have a house in this game, but I had already made up my mind. Hey, I'm gonna log off, and I don't know if I'll play again.
Why?
It didn't really hook me. Maybe I'll give it another try later.
All right, little brother. I'll be here. Do you have Instagram?
He gave me his Instagram, and then said,
Okay, take care. TQ.
What? TQ? What does that mean? He asked for my Insta, and then says TQ. Does he mean te quiero? Does he want to date me? I logged out and left the game there. Honestly, I didn't know what to think. It was nice. I found a 2D zombie MMO with clunky gameplay, annoying characters, and a character who gets drunk from one beer. And I left with a new friend. But there was still one MMO left. And that one was different. I started Herwood Online knowing it would be different. I accidentally picked dark skin for my character, then started killing level 1 rabbits. I collected their hides and got a new bow, even though I wanted to be a mage. With my bow, I became a true rabbit genocider. When I leveled up, I found higher level deer. I was only level 3, and these were tougher, but still manageable. As you can see, the game was completely empty. My epic farm continued until a damn deer overwhelmed me and killed me, though nothing really happened. The game felt extremely indie, super janky. It lagged so hard sometimes that I had to close and reopen it. At level 5, I unlocked an ice spell. I sold all my hides and meat to buy a magic staff. Now I was cracked. So I went to a level 10 deer area and destroyed everything. There, I met a player named Snowshield. I said hi. He replied. I told him I was new, hoping he'd be a veteran, but no, he was new too. He said the game was tedious because of the farming. I noticed that. I asked his age. He said 35. Then another player appeared. He looked more experienced. I asked how long he'd been playing. He said, since the beginning. When was that? A year ago. He also explained he wasn't higher level because he stopped playing for a while. I suspected he was an older adult too, so I asked his age. He was 11. 11, talking like he was 54. Snowshield just said, kids. The kid asked, will you play tomorrow? I said, I don't know. This might be my last time here. He said, I don't blame you. The game is kind of boring. You think so? I know things shouldn't be easy, but the farming never stops. I told him, I don't think you're 11. You don't talk like someone your age. Well, he said, everyone tells me that. That worried me a bit. So I told him, hey, be careful on the internet. He said, creeps are a big problem. I know. That's why I'm careful. Good. Be careful and be smart. We talked a bit more, and I logged out. These MMOs are dead. That's a fact. The developers left. The players left. The servers are empty. But there are still people there. Real humans with real lives and real reasons to keep playing games no one else touches. Snowshield at 35, maybe escaping adult stress. Adnil hoping to meet a girl who lives 6 hours away. And Dets, an 11-year-old kid who prefers farming alone in a janky MMO instead of doing whatever 11-year-olds do today. Who am I to say these games are dead? As long as there is even one person playing, as long as there is one human connection, as long as there is one 11-year-old waiting for someone to say hello, those worlds are still alive. Just very, very lonely. Thanks for joining me on this journey. If you ever stumble upon a dead MMO, give yourself the chance to meet whoever's still there. You never know who you might find.